Hello friends, I'm Franco D'Rivera. Thank you for coming along on this journey. Gracias por acompañarme en este recorrido. Today, I'll tell you what happened when I reached Tabasco, when exile truly began.
¡Dale, mariachi!
Arriving in Tabasco was the beginning. The end of one journey announcing the start of the next. We were hurled beyond the iron gate. Behind us, it slammed shut like a verdict. Ahead, a hot, strange road scattered with pebbles, garbage, and dust. The scene looked like a circus, pitched at the outskirts of hell. Motorcycles growling, old rusted jeeps bouncing, buses bursting with sweating bodies, white trucks full of helmeted men gripping machine guns. And us, just us, the sky, the road, and nowhere to go. We stood there, swallowing dust and bitterness. And now what? For moments, death felt closer than hope. We didn't know where to go. We smelled like refugees. We looked like prey. This wasn't the end of the nightmare. It was only the beginning. In a small, transparent bag, I had what remained of my life. A copper ring, a copper bracelet, a copper pendant, a Hindu necklace, a wallet, a few old Indian rupees, and my cell phone. I pressed the power button, and the Apple icon glowed like a miracle. I called my wife. It rang. And the angel answered.
Amor mío.
My tears fell on Mexican dust for the first time. There were many of us there, but 4 in our little brotherhood. Ángel, Vladimir, El Ruso, and me. Others weren't so fortunate. Some were desperate. Others violent. And others ready to cannibalize the little we had for survival. Immigration was a threat. The cartel was a threat. And now, parts of our own group were a threat. We had to move. We had to move fast. We had to move far. We had to move out of sight. That's when the phone calls began. One, then another, then another. Help came the way light enters a room, quietly, through a crack. And then Oscar arrived, a man I had never met. I told him, I'm not alone. I have one more with me. He's Cuban too. He needs help. Oscar didn't even blink. Bring him. In 2 cars, my group was split. Ángel and Vladimir in a small red car, El Ruso and I in Oscar's SUV. We left the dust behind. You can stay as long as you want, Oscar said. And you don't owe me a dime. When we reached his body shop, Oscar handed me a small black remote. This opens the gate, he said. You'll need it at night. Then he led us upstairs to a small room with worn beds and an air conditioning unit humming in the corner. And a little kitchen where the night watchman heated his coffee and where we'd later make our meals. He didn't say much. He just gestured with his hand as if to say, "This is yours now. Rest." That first night, El Ruso and I walked to the corner restaurant. Stepping inside felt like stepping back into humanity. Cold air, real food, the clink of ice inside glasses, a tiny symphony, the laughter of strangers, the perfume of cooked meals. We ordered to go. Natural juice, food like royalty. And upstairs, in the little kitchen of the body shop, we ate like shipwrecked men rescued on a distant shore. I slept on an inflatable mattress. El Ruso slept on the sofa. We shared a room upstairs with 3 brothers who became our family. Sombra, Masa, and El Flaco. 3 days a week, they slept there. Other days, they returned home. On those nights, a night watchman joined us. Juanito. Juanito llegó a nosotros como llegan los ángeles, sin anunciarse, sin ruido, simplemente apareciendo donde más se lo necesita. Fatherly, gentle, kind. His hands were tough from work, but his heart, softened by years on the road, by all the places he's been, carried a quiet kindness. He brought us limes for lemonade, sweets, guavas, small gifts from a big heart. The kind of details that keep a man alive when the world is collapsing. At night, when exhaustion loosened the grip of fear, Juanito would sit with us and begin to speak. And that's when I realized the miracle. Everywhere I had ever been in my life, Juanito had already been. And more. Juanito spoke of Bergen Line Avenue, that long, pulsing artery running through Hudson County. A street I walked as a boy, a teenager, a young man searching for identity in a country still new to me. Juanito had worked on that avenue. He knew every block, every accent, every aroma. Bergen Line is a conveyor belt of the immigrant soul. Irish hands built the first storefronts. Italian voices filled the butcher shops and bakeries. Cuban exiles turned it into La Avenida. Then Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Colombians, Ecuadorians, Mexicans. And now, quietly, Arab and Muslim families adding their own color to the mosaic. Bergen Line is where America shows its true face. Not a single face, but all of them layered together. Because Bergen Line has always held a presence, an invisible rhythm that moves beneath every storefront sign, beneath every language spoken. The dancing spirit that runs through the avenue's artery. She's visible to those with a righted eye, felt by those with a rightly tempered heart. The current that carries each new wave forward. the courage to begin again. The quiet flame inside every newcomer who steps onto its sidewalks. A spirit that shifts its clothing with every generation, yet never loses its essence. I walked that avenue growing up. Juanito walked it working. And now, in the dust of Tabasco, our memories met. Two lives shaped by the same river of immigrants, flowing in different directions, yet carrying the same universal heartbeat. Y tú sabes, hermano, Juanito would say, esa calle nunca es la misma. Siempre está cambiando. Como uno. Then he spoke of Boulevard East, the majestic cliffside road overlooking New York City. The place where I lived when I first came to this country. A long, winding snake of a road carved along the edge of a cliff, where the wind carries the smell of the river, and the skyline rises like a promise made of stone and glass and fire, where you can stand on the sidewalk and feel America breathing on the other side of the Hudson, close enough to touch, far enough to dream toward. It was on that very road that my adolescence unfolded, where the seasons changed, and in their turning, I watched my own life change with them. A boy becoming a young man. And an exile, learning the face he would wear in a new world. The overlooked buildings, twin brick sentinels on Boulevard East, standing at the cliff's edge like guardians watching over the river, staring straight into the burning poetry of Manhattan's glow. They were the first walls that held me in America. My grandmother's balcony, my father's saxophone, the smell of Cuban food drifting into American air. That apartment was a borderland. Cuba in the dining room, America in the window pane. somewhere in between. Learning how to belong to both without losing either. Juanito had walked there too. He described it like a man remembering an old love. The river wind, the skyline alive, like a constellation of ambition. The quiet hum of life floating across the Hudson. The buildings were the cradle of my American adolescence. The place where the old world loosened its hold, and the new world began to write its first chapters in me. It was there that I first discovered snow, holidays, American movies, and the dizzying kaleidoscope of the 1980s and 90s American culture. E.T., Back to the Future, Star Wars, Ninja Turtles, A boy reborn in a new world. And somehow, Juanito had stood on that very sidewalk. He had breathed that same view. Todo eso lo vi yo también, he said softly. Uno nunca olvida donde la vida te cambia. Then came Memorial High School, the jungle of my youth, where my Cuban self and my American self collided like tectonic plates. Juanito had stood in front of that school. He knew those halls, those neighborhoods, those early battlegrounds where boys become men and immigrants become Americans. It was there that the transformation began. Where language broke my bones and reshaped them. Where two worlds, Cuba and America, coexisted inside me like a teen werewolf trapped between phases of the moon. And somewhere between those lockers and those winters, I was assigned Cuban at birth, but I identified as a goddamn American kid. Juanito, decades earlier, had walked those very same streets, carrying his own migrations, his own transformations. He looked at me once and said, softly, almost like a confession, "Uno también se hace de nuevo," he said, "en cada lugar que la vida te pone." "4515 Smith Avenue. A magic number in my life. The home that became my beloved sanctuary. My golden Eden. A beautiful apartment on a steep hill with a lofted bedroom beside the veteran cemetery, where silence had weight and thickness, and the nights smelled like rain, asphalt, and youth. 4515 was where everything began. It was there that I first felt love. Not the childhood kind, but the kind that thunders in your chest and rearranges the furniture of your soul. There, for the first time, I chased after a girl with everything I had, and won the race. Sandra, my gingham girl, sweet, steady, half 1950s innocence, half flint and passion. Her laughter was the soundtrack of that summer, and her perfume followed me through every hallway of that apartment. But 4515 was also where I learned that youth cuts deep. Because the first girl you catch is also the first one who learns to outrun you. I can still see myself on that black chrome-framed leather chair, reading Sandra's breakup note. My heart sliding out of my ribs like a stone falling in water. That silence, that stillness, was the first funeral of my young life. And then, As if summoned by the universe, Lydia appeared. Big hair, big energy, fire in her veins, a girl made of neon lights and danger. Where Sandra was Sunday afternoon, Lydia was Friday at midnight. She didn't walk into my life. She crashed into it. And suddenly, the world felt wide again. Rebellious. Electric. Possible.
Chase the night.
4515 was a furnace where heartbreak softened and new confidence grew its wings. Because in that golden apartment, I learned one of the holy truths of becoming a man. The heart breaks, the heart rebuilds, and the heart burns again.
Lights are flashing, energy supreme, riding waves of sound, lost in the dream. Every heartbeat sinks with the rolling tide. In this moment, let the music be our guide. Together we rise.
4515 was the place where I first loved, the place where I first lost, and the first place where I first loved again. A magic number, forever stamped on the center of my heart. Juanito smiled, that quiet smile of people who have seen much, and lost much, and rebuilt much. He didn't have to say it. I could feel it.
In the echoes of sound, we find our spark.
He had already lived the geography of my memories. Those hills, those streets, those corners where boys become men. He had crossed them long before I arrived. A kind of gentle scout of fate, walking the map of my life before I even knew it existed. Las casas cambian, he murmured, pero no el corazón. El corazón no olvida los lugares donde vivió. And then came Times Square, the neon temple of my American youth. The place where movie posters felt like sacred icons, and where the world suddenly felt enormous. Times Square reminded me of something unmistakable. The electric universality of the human spirit. The current that runs beneath all our cultural differences, shared before language, before flags, before names. This wasn't about where people came from. It was about what moved through them. Times Square was the electric heartbeat of the world to come. A place vibrating with possibility, where millions of lives pulsed at once on the same frequency. Its lights didn't celebrate identity. They dissolved it. They pointed towards something larger. The explosive, generous potential of the human being, once freed from narrow definitions. Standing there, I felt it clearly. This place was not asking me to belong. It was asking me to expand. As if the city itself were saying, embody the world. It's time. And Juanito, somehow, had been there too. Not as an idea, but as a man. Every coordinate of my past, every place that shaped me, every threshold where a life could turn, Juanito had walked them long before I ever knew his name. Everywhere I had ever been in my life, Juanito had already been. And more. In Tabasco, in that dusty refuge where exile began, I found a man who carried pieces of my story inside his own life. A stranger who knew my childhood geography, a humble watchman who had once stood on every street that built the man I became. There was a quiet comfort in that, a kind of spiritual symmetry. Juanito brought peace to our hearts and quiet to our nights. Because while everything else in my life had been stripped away, through Juanito, my past found me in the middle of nowhere. And he sat before me, gentle and fatherly, as we rummaged the contents of the past, like an old film flickering in the sheen of each other's eyes, projected by the beam of a long and bright memory. There, I saw the divine comedy of the human storyline repeat in circles, in the never-ending dance, only the wardrobe changing over the same absolutely beautiful, unchanging scenery. In my mind's eye, I saw the tides and tender flow of human movement across the stage of our beloved world. In a play, written by the phantom hand of that which speaks the universe, in silent words punctuated by stars. In an endless heaven where whole galaxies spin their dress aflame in a cosmic waltz without beginning and without end. And just like that, memory dissolved back into the present, to the soft scrape of his knife against the cutting board. Juanito slicing limes for lemonade. I recorded this in the body shop, the last footage I captured before leaving Tabasco. A moment of exhaustion, fear, and honesty.
Bueno, estoy haciendo este blog aquí desde Tabasco. Nos hemos estado quedando aquí, yo y el ruso, por unas cuantas semanas. Creo que va a ser un mes ya, dentro de poco. Creo que sí, ya, a lo mejor ya tal vez se cumplió. Nos hemos estado escondiendo aquí en este taller, gracias a la generosidad del señor Oscar y de su esposa, y de su amabilísima esposa, que nos ha dado refugio aquí a nosotros dos, como a tantos otros refugiados que han pasado por aquí, por el taller de esta generosa familia. Nada, estoy haciendo este video como ¿cómo se llama? Como parte del blog que tal vez en algún momento acompañará el libro que estoy escribiendo en inglés y en español, que se llama Genocidio Americano, que se trata sobre toda la travesía esta que nos ha tocado vivir, tanto a mí y al ruso que se está quedando aquí conmigo también en el taller, escondido aquí, como a tantos otros. El genocidio americano, American Genocide, por los tantos paralelos que van a encontrar en el libro relacionado con esta historia, que es la historia, el cuento va a ser primera persona singular, porque fue mi experiencia personal, pero no es el cuento mío nada más, es el cuento de tantos. Es la misma historia que se repite. Todos los elementos principales son absolutamente idénticos en todos nosotros que pasamos por esta monstruosidad que ha sido esta deportación masiva sin ningún tipo de respeto al debido proceso. Un derecho constitucional que debe tener, que debería haber tenido, que debe tener por la ley, que debe tener toda persona que tenga los pies sobre el suelo americano, sin importar cuál sea su estatus migratorio, es un ser humano que tiene derechos humanos y derechos constitucionales. Y derechos internacionales también. Los tres han sido violados. El derecho constitucional al debido proceso, el derecho a tener una entrevista de miedo creíble antes de ser deportado, también fue violada, y también una ley internacional que se llama non-refoulement, creo que se llama la ley de no devolución, que es una ley internacional donde dice que es absolutamente ilegal mandar a una persona a un tercer país donde corre un riesgo de que esas personas le puedan hacer daño, su vida puede correr riesgo y lo puedan también torturar, o sea, los casos son reales aquí, sobre todo en México, donde en las zonas fronterizas hay muchos secuestros y tortura con el fin de extorsionarle dinero también a la familia de los Estados Unidos. O sea, son realidades, no son cosas que se están imaginando las personas al expresar miedo creíble a ser deportado para un tercer país, como fue el caso de todos nosotros, los cubanos que últimamente fueron deportados en estas redadas de Donald Trump. Es así, ¿no? A veces las cosas tienen nombre y apellido y debemos tomar el crédito en las cosas malas tanto las buenas, ¿no? O sea, ya hablé con Laurita, ella está en camino, está manejando desde Mérida. No sé, son unas cuantas horas de viaje. Me dice que llegaría ya por la noche. Pero este es el taller aquí que nos hemos estado quedando yo del ruso, que está en el libro también. El ruso se menciona en el libro que estoy escribiendo, en español y en inglés. Y pues nada, este es el último día aquí en el taller de Oscar, el gran Oscar, que va a aparecer también en el libro. No sé en qué capacidad, o sea, no sé todavía si en el libro él debe aparecer de una forma donde se conserva su anonimidad. Si él desea respetar eso, pues claro, yo primero que todo a él eso, con él chequearía yo ese detalle antes de ponerlo en el libro de esa manera, ¿no? Pero nada, aquí estoy en el último día con una sensación un poco, o sea, estoy contento porque voy a ver a mi esposa, pero al mismo tiempo estoy un poquito afligido porque voy a dejar a los hermanos de aquí que realmente me han de su hogar, de su amor y la calidez con la que me han recibido aquí, me han ofrecido cariño que no es muy común verlo tristemente decirlo, de donde vengo. No se ve esa generosidad sincera a la proporcionalidad y a la escala que se ve así. Y realmente es un cariño genuino que se siente, es palpable. Muy linda esta zona aquí en México de Tabasco, que se llama Tabasco. La gente es muy bonita, muy amorosa, muy natural. Realmente he quedado encantado con las personas de aquí de Tabasco, con todos ellos. Pues nada, pues bueno, voy a terminar el día tratando de ver si adelanto un poquito en la cuestión del libro, que ya he escrito bastante en bocetos. Ya tengo como 200 páginas y pico ya hechas, y todavía estoy en el relato, estoy todavía ya en Chihuahua, que fue por donde entramos después que nos tuvieron un día y medio en el campo de concentración de Texas, porque hay que llamarlo, las cosas hay que llamarlas por lo que son, en inglés dicen call a spade, y son campos de concentración, lo que tienen armados allá, tanto en Texas como en la Florida, como en otros lugares, me imagino también, pero lo que experimenté yo personalmente y que también estará relatado en el libro, son campos de concentración. Estamos en el 2025 y estamos viviendo momentos que hacen eco a la Segunda Guerra Mundial en Alemania, o sea, son campos de concentración. Y el que te diga otra cosa no ha estado ahí. El que te diga otra cosa te está diciendo algo desde el confort, desde su butaca, informada por un video en YouTube, que no es el caso. Yo lo viví, yo estuve ahí, estuvimos ahí todos nosotros en esas condiciones, en ese lugar que relataré en mi libro, y estamos apoyando a un presidente que se encarga de hacer redadas masivas y de poner individuos, destruir familias completas, donde pone a los familiares de todas estas personas en campos de concentración. Y su voto apoya eso. Su voto, eso es lo que está apoyando. Me disculpan, pero esa es la realidad. No estás apoyando ideas, no estás apoyando ideologías, estás apoyando acciones y actos a un nivel, a una proporcionalidad y de una escala brutal y de una magnitud absolutamente devastadora y cruel. Es lo que el voto está apoyando en la esfera de la realidad. No estamos hablando de ideas, ni ideales, ni los seres humanos no son fichitas políticas. Ni la vida humana debe ser reducible a un cheque para hacer una transacción entre naciones. Son vidas completas, como la tuya es completa, como la de tu hermana es completa, como la de tu mamá es completa, como la de tu esposo o esposa. Es una vida completa de principio a fin y debe ser respetada. Y las vidas de los seres humanos no están siendo respetadas en este momento por esta administración. Están siendo respetadas, están siendo tratadas con una inmesurable nivel de crueldad. Las condiciones y las cosas que le ha tocado vivir a todas esas personas, incluyéndome a mí, son no hay ni siquiera una palabra para que la pueda calificar. Inhumano. Es un trato inhumano, y las cosas que le han tocado vivir a estas personas son el tipo de cosas que ya pensábamos que habíamos superado, que ya habían quedado detrás en las páginas más oscuras de la historia, pero parece que no, porque la estamos viviendo hoy en día. Este tipo de cosas no son posibles y nunca han sido posibles sin el apoyo de un pueblo que básicamente le trabajan las emociones y los pensamientos para poder hacerle cosas así a otros seres humanos. Y tristemente toma que pase el tiempo para mirar hacia atrás y decir, oh, pero ¿cómo es posible que lo dejamos pasar? No, es que no lo dejamos pasar, participamos en ello, fuimos partícipes de que esta monstruosidad se lleve a cabo. Lo que es increíble es que no lo podemos ver cuando está pasando. Pero como dice el dicho, aprendemos de la historia que no aprendemos de la historia. Y precisamente por esto es que este tipo de cosas siguen sucediendo, nos siguen sucediendo y seguimos haciendo las mismas cosas. Las mismas cosas. Diferente collar. Esto es el mismo perro con diferente collar. Es el mismo play. Es el mismo libro. Solamente lo que cambia es el disfraz. Lo que cambia es el elemento óptico. La esencia es exactamente igual a lo que estamos haciendo con los inmigrantes. Suplantas un judío por un migrante y es la misma historia lo que estás viendo. La misma historia lo que estás viendo, el mismo trato, la misma deshumanización del ser humano, la humillación, la incomunicación, la incertidumbre, el terror. Es la misma cosa, el mismo nivel de crueldad, el mismo nivel de indiferencia. Es la misma historia. Tristemente se está repitiendo la misma historia gracias a muchos de ustedes.
The first days were hard. Trauma distorts everything. For a moment, I doubted the world around me. Tabasco is number 2 in migrant abductions. So I was cautious. But eventually, the cloud lifted, life opened, and things began to take on a new, brighter color. Little by little, I walked farther to the Jarocho meat market to buy food, to cook. We ate together, laughing, breathing, rebuilding. Inside the body shop, life felt almost normal. Work, laughter, food, the rhythm of men holding each other up. But outside those metal doors, the world was different. Living in Tabasco meant living inside a corridor of risk. This place is full of retenes, armed checkpoints scattered across the highways. Military, police, cartel, and sometimes you can't even tell the difference. People disappear on those roads. Vans, migrants, entire families. Some retenes are official. Some are imposters. Some belong to the underworld. For someone like me, recently deported, out of status, unfamiliar with the terrain, even stepping outside required calculation. Every walk to the store, every errand, every step beyond the gate felt like moving inside a map where danger could appear in any direction. In Tabasco, the air itself carried a warning. You are vulnerable, and the wrong set of eyes can change everything. Sombra, the spark of joy in darkness. His humor was medicine. Masa, a young old soul, cook since childhood. He taught me how to cut limes the Mexican way. El Flaco, quiet, thoughtful, in love. On my last day, he saved me a dish just for me. A gesture I will never forget. Pelufo, red hair like fire, a sweetness beyond words. He gave me his own hot dog the day I arrived. Chucky, short in height, a giant in loyalty, fire in his eyes, brotherhood in his heart. Chaparrón, Mighty Mouse, happy, alert, always ready to help before you asked. Rafa, serious, disciplined, loved engines and aeronautics, hands-on, precise. Don Oscar and Doña Oli appeared to us as giants, not in size, but in presence. Tough, fair, human. The kind of strength that feels like shade on a burning day. Oscar saw the heaviness in us, the weight of detention still clinging to our skin. The fear we didn't speak out loud. So one afternoon, without warning, he said, "Vámonos, les va a hacer bien." And he drove El Ruso and me to a place that felt like it lived outside the world entirely. A vast hacienda belonging to one of the most successful cattle ranchers in the country. A K30 ranch. K30 are red, massive, sculpted animals. Bred for strength, endurance, and almost mythical resilience. K30 cattle are a pride of the region, a bloodline perfected through decades of care, discipline, and a rancher's intimate knowledge of the land. To stand among them was to stand inside a living symbol of Mexico's spirit. Resistance made flesh. But the surprise wasn't the cattle. It was the people. A gathering of the region's most influential men. Ranchers, oil impresarios, business owners, leaders from the church, men whose hands commanded land, industry, and respect. And yet, without hesitation, without formality, they opened up the circle and made room for two displaced strangers from another country, another life. We were nobody there. And still, somehow, we belonged. The afternoon unfolded like a blessing. Music rising into the wide Tabasco sky. The smell of the grill drifting through the heat. Boots on dirt. The laughter of men who had lived hard and worked harder. At one point, I found myself next to the ranch foreman, a man carved out of earth and honesty. Tough hands, gentle eyes, a presence anchored in something ancient. We spoke for nearly an hour about land, about work, about dignity, about what it means to protect something with your whole life. In that circle, in that heat, in that brotherhood of faith and labor, I saw a Mexico most people will never meet. A Mexico of decency, dignity, fraternity, and quiet strength. A country of real men with real hearts. And for the first time since being thrown into Mexican soil, I felt safe. Not because the danger had disappeared. It hadn't. But because kindness had found us anyway. Because in a world full of closed doors, this one had opened wide. Ten days after being deported, on July 14th, 2025, I began writing. American Genocide. I sat on the floor of that small room in that body shop, using an inverted wicker sock drawer as my writing stand. A makeshift altar for the pages that were holding my sanity together. Three notebooks filled with the sketches of almost 3/4 of the book lay spread before me like a battlefield map. Pens scattered, the floor cool under my legs. The distant hum of traffic, the metallic echo of the shop below. I have a photo of the first lines I ever wrote there. I thought I was free of having to experience so much pain ever again. Those pages were my anchor, my weapon, my lifeline, my way back into the world. It was writing right there on the floor that kept me alive. On my last night there, before leaving, under a full moon, I recorded myself chanting Karpura Gauram. It's an ancient Sanskrit prayer, a hymn of light offered to the source of all creation. Sung to dissolve fear, to steady the mind, to remind us that even in seeming absolute darkness, there's a flame that does not go out. In the air, there was ash drifting in the wind, the smell of burning fields, the aroma of transformation, the fire of life, the fire that destroys illusion, was afloat in the conscious ether that sustains us, that gives us life, that grants us awareness. I stood still, beholding the immensity of the ghost hands that held me in place, a moment between worlds, where life and death are one uninterrupted gesture.
Mira la luna esa, Laurita. ¡Wow! No sé si la ves de aquí. Mira eso. Ok, te voy a mandar este mantra para ti, un regalo. Para los dos, regalo para los dos. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansare Saram Pujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hradayaravindev Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Om Namah Shivaya.
That same night, my wife had called. She told me she was coming to get me out. Tabasco was too dangerous.
Tabasco es muy peligroso, amor. Tu vida corre riesgo ahí. Voy por ti.
It had to be stealth. No one could know. Not even the guys, not even El Ruso. If immigration detected me in the car, I'd be taken. But Laura and her brother could be arrested too, just for trying to save me. On the last day, I packed lightly. 3 notebooks filled with the handwritten sketches of American genocide, 4 pens, a few changes of clothes, all folded into my small black backpack, and that red bag I carried everywhere in Tabasco. I pressed the button to open the gate and startled El Ruso. He looked at me with wide eyes. "What's going on, man?" My wife came to get me. I told him. She's close. I gave him a tight hug. I have to go, man. He shook his head, his eyes glistening. This is like some 007 shit, man. I told him, you can't write life, man. Life writes you. Your job is to do your best with the role. Be good if you can. And play the role with style.
Bueno, estoy saliendo ahora mismo del taller de competence. Estoy esperando aquí a Laura, que está a 8 minutos de aquí. Me acabo de despedir del ruso, que no se lo esperaba. Cuando le dije que Laurita me había venido a recoger.
Where the shadows play, the beat drops heavy like night turns to day. Feel the bass pulse through the crowded space. Lose yourself in the rhythm, find your place. Euphoria's calling, bring the fire. Chase the night, let it take you higher. In the trance, we're all alive, aspire. Feel the rush, let the music flow. In this heartbeat, we let our spirits go. Lights are flashing, energy supreme. Riding waves of sound, lost in the dream. Every heartbeat syncs with the rolling tide. In this moment, let the music be our guide. Together we rise, no holding back. Chase the night, let it take you higher. In the
Hello, friends. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey and following it all the way here to the future. This is Mérida, and I hope to see you all back here when we continue with our story. Right now, I've been invited to a party, a New Year's party, back in 1992, and I got a very special ride coming. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Quisiera aprovechar el cierre de esta película para dar gracias. Quisiera dar gracias, primeramente, a todas las mujeres que han sido parte tan importante de la historia de hacerme hombre. Especialmente en esa etapa difícil e incierta de la adolescencia. Mujeres que a través de mis errores y mis dolores al crecer, me ayudaron a ver el mundo desde ese lado que venero tanto. El lado sabio, intuitivo, el lado femenino de la vida. Gracias a las jóvenes mujeres que me acompañaron en esa etapa, que me soportaron, me ayudaron y me guiaron al crecer desde la gracia de su esencia divina y perfecta. Quisiera dar gracias también a todos esos artistas que cultivaron mi corazón y convirtieron mis momentos de ocio en educación espiritual. Los artistas del mundo, que cuando encarnan su labor más alta y cumplen su responsabilidad universal como ciudadanos del mundo, llenan a todos los seres de este planeta sin distinción de luz, de belleza, de esperanza y de amor y respeto por la vida. Gracias a Juanito y a todos los Juanitos del mundo, a los que caminaron este mundo antes que nosotros y dejaron huellas para que pudiéramos poner nuestros pasos con un poco más de seguridad y calma. Gracias a nuestros antepasados por el largo peregrinaje a través del tiempo y a lo ancho del mundo. Gracias a mi esposa Laura, quien me ha salvado la vida en las noches más oscuras de mis días. A ella le debo todo lo que hoy es bello en mi vida. A mi esposa, cuya voz me rescata una y otra vez en cada noche de este exilio desde donde hoy les hablo. Y a mi madre. A ella quiero darle las gracias mayores. Porque es gracias a ella que existe este mundo para mí. Gracias, madre. Gracias por el regalo de la vida y por la infancia más bella y plena que un ser humano pudiese desear. Gracias, mamá, porque la dureza del mundo que a mí no me tocó vivir de niño cayó sobre ti. Gracias, madre. Gracias. Y gracias a todos ustedes, mis hermanas y hermanos, por su compañía en este viaje que compartimos. Gracias por su atención. Gracias por estar aquí. Muchas gracias.